Okay, so we are going to watch what's his name? Neddy the Noodle and see what he has to say about the story because I'm retarded. I can't say that word. I'm stupid. And
Silent Hill game was announced not long after, I was pretty hyped, and it's in Japan. Well, Silent Hill F was worth the wait, but don't just take my word for it, because by the end of this video, you should understand the full picture of the game's story, and
there you go.
this is Shimizu Hinako, our protagonist. Hinako is in high school, and she's not like most of the girls her age. Growing up, she was part of her school's track and field club and preferred to hang out with boys. This made her an outlier at school, and girls treated her like shit because of it. She always
Facts. I think she was getting bullied. I don't know.
saw herself as someone who was more like a boy than a girl, and in fact outwardly wished that she wasn't a girl. She was pretty stubborn, unlike
Maybe that's why he got the guy's shoe partner.
her elder sister, Junko. Junko was the golden child of the Shimizu family, always doing what she was told and meeting the expectations given to her. She would often smooth the edges of the rough relationship Hinako had with her parents, and Hinako would always try to do what Junko asked of her since Hinako looked up to her so much. Even though the two of them got along well, they had different perspectives on life, specifically what made them happy and how they felt about the societal standards for women at the time. Hinako grew up always despising people who told her how to act just because she was a girl, and pretty much everyone in her life did just this. The kids at school, and especially her parents. The thing that Hinako...
So I'm guessing she didn't feel like a girl. Track and field kids. I don't know. Let's go for her. Cause her friend probably call her a traitor. So makes sense. A female and how life was back then. I don't know.
Her sister Junko, however, valued results more, deciding to fit in more to social norms. So naturally, she tried to mirror these ideals onto Hinako. But eventually, Junko got married, putting distance between the two of them.
Oh, okay. So, pretty much the wedding that got crashed and people got killed. That was the sister's wedding, and she went full rampage on the wedding, killing everybody while she was on drugs. So I don't know. I think that's what it is.
In Hinako's own words, she describes her father as an alcoholic, drinking his life away after accumulating debt, who hits and bosses his wife and kids around. She describes her mother as pitiful, just sitting there and taking the abuse with no respect for herself. The Shimizu family was very traditional for the standards of the Showa era, or at least tried to be, and this would prove to have long-lasting effects on Hinako, comparing her to Junko. Her mom tells her not to go, and that her dad is just worried, but she decides to go see her friends and walks out of the house. Once we walk into town, we see Igarashi Sakuko. She's a bit strange and always seems to have her head up in the clouds, but the two of them are friends nonetheless. Sakuko's family,
she owe me money, so
Wai Shu is Hinako's best friend and has been for as long as she can remember.
So he was the plug, I believe. He was the plug, giving me drugs. He's the reason why we ended up how we ended up.
They grow up and they talk about some sort of choice Hinako is having to make at the moment. He hands her the box, which happens to have some kind of medication inside of it, and he says that no matter what she chooses, he'll stay by her side. But suddenly their conversation...
So, conclusion to that, he was trying to help her with drugs to get better, and he fucked up a run, and that was the choice that she had to make right there, pretty much.
is interrupted by another friend of the two. This is Nishida Rinko.
Explain the fuck,
but she would get caught up in her own ways of seeing things and was rather ignorant. Hinako sees her as a best friend, but she's also... And this is pretty much where your traditional Silent Hill gameplay begins. You head through the town's alleys and abandoned houses, encountering these little shrines that act as your save points. And of course, along the way, you see these grotesque monsters trying to kill you. Like the other games, the appearance of the monsters have symbolic meaning, but we'll talk about them a little bit later. Eventually, Hinako makes it back to Sakuko's body, and Scarecrow field puzzle that reflects Rinko's hateful feelings towards Hinako. They eventually make it to their friend's house. Rinko runs out to hug Shu and gives Hinako a backhanded, glad you're safe too, before they head into her house and figure out what to do next. They would leave town, but the bridge is broken. So they plan to take the highway behind. Waking up in the dark shrine again, stare from behind, Hinako's doll appears again, telling her to beware of Rinko. This bitch gives her a death stare from behind and then fucking shoves her down the stairs. What is—
Pretty much. Yep. Pretty much. I was like, she's gonna do it. She's gonna do it.
is her problem? Waking up in the dark shrine again, this time Hinako finds this badass polearm called a naginata and learns about a weird phenomenon that happens occasionally in the town. Notes from doctors talk about people with glassy eyes getting on all fours and making fox noises. They call it fox possession. This is the place we can also find the notes talking about the sacrifices made to the water dragon. Sakuko in a shrine maiden outfit, taunting and calling her traitor over and over again. When it looks like Hinako is about to get fucking murked, the fox mask steps in and does his Naruto jutsu to banish her from the sacred ground.
Oh yeah, my wolf was my savior, but he was kind of playing me. Yeah, I didn't even know, like, what does the wolf even mean?
Hinako follows him through the next door, and he tells her before they truly enter
Hopefully he explains it.
that they need to do a cleansing ritual with a nearby fountain. The man cleanses himself, but when Hinako does it, the water turns into lava, and she sees the doll once again, warning her not to trust him. Then she wakes up. Hinako volunteers to scout out the area, solving a series of puzzles as well before they head out. She does so, and yep, you guessed it, she's back in the dark shrine again. But this time, it's different. Her friend alive. For Sakuko, the lights are extinguished and she's left alone in the darkness. And at the end of the dark shrine sequence, Shu tells her that no matter what choice she makes, he'll respect it, right before Hinako pulls a lever, killing him. All of these events are reflective of their own fears and emotions. Sakuko is afraid of the dark because it reminds her of how alone she is. She's also afraid of Hinako abandoning her, so she's left in the dark all alone, and she has a heart attack.
What the hell? She had a heart attack? No. No, I didn't even notice that.
For Rinko, she has this burning hatred and jealousy for Hinako that would eventually consume her, so she's burned alive.
I knew that girl hated me. I knew it. I knew it.
And for Shu, he's constantly being put in a chokehold by keeping his real feelings for Hinako buried, so he suffocates.
Wow.
When she walks out of Shu's room, the fox mask appears again, telling her that it must have been really hard to leave childhood friends behind, but that it had to be done. If you haven't gone on to the bigger picture yet, I promise you it will all make sense soon. It's just critical we lay the foundation first. When Hinako goes into Shu's house, she looks at a picture, and then you hear someone knocking at the door.
Get wrecked, homie.
What the fuck? Is that Guardian Ape?
So she gets chokeslammed into the ground by this giant furry demon arm and passes out, going back to the dark shrine. The fox mask is holding her hand, walking down some stairs when he tells her the path ahead is of great pain and suffering, and that they will perform 3 rituals.
Yep.
Holy shit, what did I just watch? After all of this is done, the two of them walk down a long hallway of people wearing fox masks with Inari statues. All, they bow to the head priest standing in front of them. The doll warns Hinako again and tells her what her true name is, trying to remind her in case she forgets. The head priest in front of them turns out to be Rinko, and she starts swinging around this fiery flail and says how she's glad Hinako will finally be gone. Once she's defeated though, Hinako says she hopes Rinko finds peace before Hinako starts to become confused about her own identity. She questions if she really is Shimizu Hinako, and the fox masked man assures her that she is Hinako.
I think she felt sorry. Hinako felt sorry. Maybe because she fucking killed him at the end.
His Hinako. Waking up looking pretty goddamn rough at this point, Hinako enters Shu's house again. And that same owl lady we saw earlier appears. Hinako realizes that this is her sister. Junko tells Hinako that she is still a lost little girl and that her choice is her own, but she needs to decide soon. Then she walks out and disappears. Hinako starts to head back to the Shimizu residence, and on the way, we see a flashback in a playground.
They killed the fucking dog.
Hinako talks to another version of herself, the part of her that is going to give into the marriage and accept the decision being made for her, whereas you are the version of her that doesn't want to accept it. The two yell at each other about what decisions should be made.
Am I like stupid? So she was the girl that was gonna get the arranged marriage, and at the marriage she ended up kicking ass, I think,
until one of them disappears. Once she gets to the final room, she finds all of her friends that she had lost. and once going through the door in front of her, it's her mom and dad having a celebration for her, with some of their family friends being present as well. The dad raises the knife in his hand, and Hinako gets flashbacks to when he had thrown it at her.
The celebration and this whole thing probably happened at the wedding, before the wedding, okay? Probably. And then now, what's it called? She killed the friends, I guess, or left her friends. She killed the parents and the sister at the wedding. What the hell? Maybe I'm just too dark. I don't know.
Voice lines while fighting her, and it's once Hinako defeats them that they leave the house. Hinako follows, and when she gets through the door, we finally have a full view of the fog monster that had been chasing her the entire time. It's wearing a shiramuku, a wedding kimono. We can see it's faceless, and it holds the parents' heads in its claws.
See? I was the one getting married. The wolf and I were getting married.
Hinako passes out and enters the dark shrine again, with Kotoyuki next to her. He gives her some special drinks and gives her a brooch, marking that she belongs to him. Eventually reaching the end of the shrine, she meets with Kotoyuki again, as well as her sister. Junko asks for a moment of privacy and asks if Hinako killed it. Hinako seems confused, and with that, Junko knows everything she needs to. Here, they're talking about Hinako's doubts, and it seems like Junko is looking out for her here, saying that if she has any doubt past today, then she'll have to stop the marriage or convince her not to do it. After this, Kotoyuki and Hinako take part in what they say is the final rite. They each put a ring into the slot of a white and a black fox before Hinako wakes up, confused and enraged. All of these events, the house, the clone, her parents dying, and chasing the fog monster, this is Hinako's.
This is what I needed, because my brain was confused because of the story.
Last visit to her hometown before she gets married. She's saying her final goodbyes to her old life. Most of her self-reflection happened when she got to her room and the two sides of her were arguing back and forth. Then she says goodbye to her parents, crushing the memory of them. From there, that version of her that doesn't want to get married chases the fog monster through the town, trying desperately to stop it from leaving forever. The fog monster is Tsuneki Hinako. All these dark shrine experiences were seemingly flashbacks of her time spent with Kotoyuki at the Tsuneki estate, and now this is where she enters a final flashback.
Pretty much me and the fox were the arranged marriage that I didn't want.
With the doubtful version of her crushed, the monster turns into the fox version of her, and we see the symbolic killing of her parents from the other side, coming full circle.
That was fucking crazy. Okay.
Now, here's where we talk about the 5 endings. To get any of the other ones, though, you first have to get the default ending, and the other ones are done in different New Game Plus playthroughs. I'm going to leave a couple of things out during these first few, because to truly understand the full story, we're going to have to see the other endings first. And there is a clear reason why you need to get the 2 different endings before you can get the true one. First, though, let's talk about what's actually happening when the Shiramuku kills Hinako in that last scene. And the now doubtful one is stuck in the dark shrine instead, through a big door, and this is where we hear police sirens and see flashing lights.
Yonikawa 2 to HQ. We've got 2 male victims here. Same female suspect as in the wedding massacre.
2 male victims. What the hell? Did I get that ending?
On Route 8. 1 victim is currently in cardiac arrest.
Those pills that Hinako had been taking throughout the whole game were slowly making her unstable and psychotic, until she finally broke during the wedding ceremony, killing a bunch of people and fleeing the scene. The police say that there were 2 male victims, but these were just some that were in her path while she fled the shrine. How many people she actually killed at the wedding is unclear, but considering the police called it a massacre, it was probably a lot.
Oh shit. So I was kind of right. Cool. So, yeah. I'm over here going crazy, I'm going ham at a wedding. I'm telling you, it was the drugs.
She killed the Shiramuku, though. There were 3 monsters that appeared in front of her, so maybe it was 3 that she stabbed. Overall, this ending was relatively straightforward, at least compared to the other one. The sacred sword we talked about earlier, we're gonna need that too, but for this ending specifically, you either need.
Bro, I didn't even know there was a sword.
Appears and expresses his feelings, telling her he doesn't want her to get married, before confessing his love. He tells her about the pills he gave her, how they made her reflect on herself, but that they're extremely dangerous. Basically, he tried to make Hinako unmarriable. He feels horrible about.
Oh, so that's why he gave her the pills, because he didn't want her to get married. Smart, but don't do it, guys.
what he did, and then the Tsukumogami god appears, enveloping and becoming part of him. Hinako fights the god, and while she does, she and Shu talk about their past. Once defeated, Shu becomes free of the god's grasp. The three of them all come to terms with what's to come, and the ending seems pretty okay until we get to the scene where it really emphasizes what's happening. We see Kotoyuki and Hinako standing on the steps to the shrine right before they head into the wedding. Once they walk into the hall, we see Hinako's peeled off face sitting on the steps below with a voice of its own.
What the fuck? First of all, that's wild. Second, the mom was a arranged marriage. He said it.
Of Hinako's doubts, I do want to briefly cover the monsters of the game
please.
and what they represent. We can assume the flesh doll looking ones are Hinako's fear of being controlled like a doll, a mere creature that's destined to just take the abuse given to it. The pregnant belly monster likely is from her fear of becoming pregnant since she visited her sister.
So it wasn't testicles after all. It was pregnancy.
In the hospital and saw her throwing up, looking way more aged and sick. I mean, the monster literally vomits on you, so I'm pretty sure this is where it came from. The weird faceless monster that gets on all fours and licks her face once it grabs her is how she sees a certain type of men. Greedily staring eyes, acting all chummy with her. It's all repulsive, and what's more, it never bothers with guys. The big fleshy monster with the giant knife is, of course, her dad, and the scarecrow likely represents the personas or masks that she or other people have put on. And last, the big clump of dolls seems like an amalgamation of lost childhood innocence from young.
I fucking called it. I said all the dolls might be childhood. So there you go.
Girls when they come of age, at least according to the way Hinako describes it in her journal. What does the F stand for? It stands for fuck, because this game fucking slaps! How did you enjoy Silent Hill F?
Facts. It's your boy, Neddy the Noodle. Thank you for the video. It was a good explanation. The game's starting now. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna play next. Yeah, that was a good explanation. Crazy though. It was drugs, like I said. But yeah, don't do fucking drugs, man. Don't do fucking drugs. And the wedding, that was wild. She went ham at the wedding. And another thing was Shu actually loved her. The one bitch friend was always envying her. She was jealous. But she also hated the guy. Which made me think that the friend that hated the guy liked Hinako. So, I don't know. Don't ask me questions because I have no answers. Thank you for watching. It was a good game overall. You know, same as, you know, it's not up there with Silent Hill 2, but it's decent. It's good. I liked it. Something different. But good night. Good morning. Thank you for watching, and please follow. Bye bye.